Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a two-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.
And here we go. Just going to check out First Friday events here in Kingman, Arizona. Let's see what we got today. Starting down here at the railroad depot, as you might have guessed. This is part of the Kingman Tours project here. It's Kingman.Tours. It's a little project we cooked up with Kingman Main Street and Talisman Magic Marketing. It's a narrated self-guided tour. This year, the First Friday events here in historic downtown Kingman, they just happened to coincide with the annual Route 66 Fun Run, which is held the first weekend of May every year. Gosh, I think about 37, 38 years now. It's always a fun event. Kingman's at the heart of the longest uninterrupted remaining section of Route 66. Depending on which alignment you look at, it's around 150 to 160 miles. So we just kind of round it off and we just call it 160 miles of smiles. Basically turns Route 66 into a living time capsule. 160-mile block party between Seligman, Arizona and Topak on the Colorado River generally attracts people from throughout the world, but with 2025 there's a few folks that are a little edgy about traveling to the US, so I'm not sure what to expect this year. But the First Friday events have really just exploded in popularity. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going on downtown now that it's part of the fun run. This is the starting point for the Kingman walking tour, narrated self-guided walking tour. It's Kingman.Tours. Hey, here's somebody you might know. Does any of this look familiar? You know, every time I get around this sculpture was created by J.M. Butler, I'm always honored and humble, but I still think people should have waited till I was dead. It's kind of like attending my own funeral, so to speak. That was the Route 66 Walk of Fame. More trains. Kingman's always been a railroad town. Kingman owes its origins to the establishment of the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad in about 1881, 1882. It was a railroad construction camp. And it was named for Lewis Kingman, a railroad survey engineer on the Atlantic and Pacific. See it too well because of the train, but this is 4th Street in Kingman. This was the National Old Trails Road and Route 66. And initially, Route 66 followed Andy Devine Avenue. Before 1938, it came in from the east and then turned south on 4th Street. And after 1938, it was rerouted that direction to the west. You may recognize the Hotel Beale. In our last shared adventure, we did a little bit of an exploration from top to bottom. And what an adventure that was. Across the street here. I'm trying walking up the street a tad bit. Aside from historic sites, the Kingman Tours project also included public art, an explanation of the art and the artist. Not sure how the audio is going to turn out for this. It's a tad bit loud down this direction. This is really the historic heart of the old town right here. Brunswick Hotel, the Lovin building from 1906. The Hotel Beale, Old Trails Garage. Well, it's a little quiet. Maybe we can talk a tad bit. Kind of my old stomping grounds. For fans of Jim Hinckley's America, you know that I came here in the summer of 1966. I thought this was the place they warned me about in Sunday school. On Saturday, most of the participants in the fun run, they get together up in Seligman, Arizona, and they drive to downtown Kingman. This whole section, I'll show you tomorrow. We'll come down and get some more video. This will be a sea of vintage cars and hot rods, just about everything you can imagine. It's really shaping up down here. It's hard to believe just a few years ago, most everything down here was abandoned, closed. There's a mural just recently completed by acclaimed mural artist Ray Harvey out of Missouri. Working with the Graves family, the Route 66 Association of Kingman, Arizona, renovated the facade on this, and then working with Legacy Signs, they restored the old circa 1930 Packard sign. Garibaldi's, well, this started out as the Arizona store about 1910, and then the Old Trails Garage opened. That became the showroom and the parts store. We've mentioned this before, but the old Brunswick Hotel has a connection to a little bit of automotive history. Edsel Ford. Most people, when they think of Edsel, the first thing they think of is a car that looks like a Buick sucking a lemon. But Edsel was Henry Ford's son, and he and his college buddies took a trip west in the summer of 1915 on the National Old Trails Road. July 16th, 1915, they stayed here at the Brunswick Hotel. And in Edsel's journal, he noted that they'd left Williams that morning and drove the 156 miles to Kingman. Roads were a tad bit rougher back then. Central Commercial, it's a neat complex, opened in 1917, and the red building next to it became part of Central Commercial, but that's now the art hub. That opened in, you just see the edge of it just past the outhouses. That opened in 1912 as a bank and post offices and law offices. We'll see how this video turns out. See what you think of this. This old dog's trying to learn a few new tricks and trying to incorporate some new technologies into storytelling. We'll see how well I do. You can give me a grade whether I'm passing or not. The downtown First Friday events all pretty much center on Beale Street, which is one block off Route 66. If you kind of notice a theme here in Kingman, we have Beale Street and the old Hotel Beale. Well, we owe that to Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Beale. Quite a story if you ever get a chance. You want to read about a colorful character that somehow slipped through the cracks of history a tad bit. Looks like things are just coming to life down here. Talking to you about Lieutenant Beale. He led quite an adventuresome life And he was kind of responsible for the establishment of the Beale Wagon Road, one of the very first federally funded highways in the Southwest. And Jefferson Davis, the Secretary of War, who went on to a few other things like being the President of the Confederacy, he decided to experiment and got Lieutenant Beale set up as part of the camel caravan, testing the viability of camels in the desert Southwest. Anyway, the Beale Wagon Road followed a Native American trade route. Fans of Route 66 have heard me talk about that before. And of course, the Beale Wagon Road is one that was followed a lot by the railroad. And that was in turn followed by the National Old Trails Road and Route 66. It's like the festivities are starting to heat up a tad bit. Weathers are just about perfect.
No, they didn't.
Isn't this a great event? The fun thing is, it's not just a car show. It's for the whole family. It's for people to get together, a sense of community. As far as the cars go, God, anything with wheels you're likely to find here. I found everything from, in previous car shows, from 1908 Cadillacs to Greyhound Scenic Cruiser buses. One example, when was the last time you saw a 1960 Edsel or a Diamond T? Block after block. And it's not just a car show, it's a driving. This starts down up in Seligman on Saturday morning. Like say this year we had the first Friday events, but then you start in Seligman, 90 miles, drive to Kingman on Saturday, and then it continues on to Topak on Colorado River through Oatman on Sunday. Lots of neat things happening on Kingman. This 1940s service station is now a bike rental and a free museum. Scoops on 66, great repurposing of the building, closed for decades. It was a diner in the 1930s. The unique stone trim is kind of fascinating. There's several buildings with that here. And Tim and Lenore are creating Tin Can Alley, a unique Airbnb type experience right on Route 66 in Kingman. And it's, not only do they have the ice cream parlor, but Tim and Lenore also have mud on 66. First-rate ice cream shop. I sure like enjoying these adventures with you and you get a chance and you're in Kingman, well, this is an event I can highly recommend. First weekend in May every year, there's one you don't see out of 37 Willis. It's all rather astounding, isn't it? Almost overwhelming. Quite an event if you get a chance and you're here in Kingman. Be sure to check this out.
Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a two-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.